Have you ever, stopped and wondered if what we usually hear about getting older, especially after 75, is really the whole story? We hear about the big things, right? The
Right.
major health issues. But what if there are these quieter threats, things sort of subtly chipping away at our well-being, things maybe doctors don't always focus on? Today, we're doing a deep dive into some really compelling sources that honestly challenge that standard view. We're going to unmask five silent killers. These are conditions that affect so many seniors, millions really, but the thing is, they're almost entirely preventable. Our mission here is to arm you with knowledge that could genuinely change things, maybe add years, good years to your life, allowing you to live vibrantly, maybe into your 90s, like this amazing 89-year-old grandmother will mention.
Yeah. And what's often missed, and our sources really bring this out, is how the medical system itself, well, sometimes it kind of guides us into accepting that after 75, things just wear out. But that idea, our research suggests, it's a bit of a dangerous oversimplification. It leads to decline that could be avoided. The real threats, they aren't always the sudden dramatic ones. They're often these subtle systemic problems that are quietly dismantling your body's defenses while maybe you're focused on other diagnoses. So we wanted to help you not just see what these threats are, but really understand why they matter and, crucially, how you can actively take charge of your own longevity. Reclaim that vibrant health.
That sets things up perfectly because this first silent killer, it might actually catch you by surprise. It's so common. Our sources say something like nearly 9 out of 10 seniors experience it daily, but they don't realize it's slowly harming them. Chronic dehydration, often just dismissed as, getting older.
Right. And it's not just about feeling thirsty. If you look at the biology, after 75, your kidneys, well, they lose a lot of efficiency, maybe up to 40%. And your body's thirst signal, it becomes less reliable. So you're not getting those strong drink water messages anymore. Plus, many common medications, they actually act like diuretics. They flush essential electrolytes out. So you get this perfect storm, really, for cellular breakdown. And that shows up as confusion, maybe more falls, UTIs, kidney stones, even things doctors might just call normal cognitive decline. But it's a fundamental breakdown happening at the cellular level. It affects everything. And it gets missed because the symptoms look like what we've been told is just aging.
Yeah, it makes you think of Harold, right? From the sources, 78 years old. He was absolutely convinced he was developing dementia, forgetting names, getting confused all the time. His family, even his doctor, they were starting to talk about memory care. But then he just started following the specific hydration plan, and within 2 weeks, his mental clarity came back completely. His family was just stunned. The doctor, too. It wasn't some miracle cure. It was just giving his body something basic it desperately needed. So simple it got overlooked.
That's exactly the point. And the hydration protocol from the sources, it isn't complicated, but you need to be precise, especially for seniors. It starts with 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning with just a tiny pinch of good quality sea salt. Now, the salt is key. It helps replenish those electrolytes, helps the water actually get into the cells, not just wash through. And after that morning drink, it's about consistent small sips throughout the day, not gulping huge amounts. A general guide. Aim for about half your body weight in ounces daily. Maybe start slower and build up. The mistake is drinking big glasses all at once. Your body often just flushes that out. You want to gently nourish the cells, maybe set a timer, keep that steady supply going.
That's really powerful that something so simple, so overlooked can have such a big impact. Okay, let's shift gears. The next silent killer. This one's maybe even more insidious because, ironically, it's often encouraged, by family, maybe even doctors. It gets disguised as taking it easy or enjoying retirement. I'm talking about social isolation.
You really hit on something crucial there. Lots of seniors are sort of gently pushed to slow down, rest more, when actually, for many, what their bodies and minds really need is the opposite: meaningful connection. This raises a really important question. What does loneliness actually do to your body physiologically? Research, like from Harvard Med School, which our sources point to, it shows that chronic loneliness after 75, it creates the same kind of physiological stress as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Think about that. It triggers chronic inflammation all through the body. That speeds up heart disease. It suppresses your immune system, so you get sick easier. And it can literally shrink your brain. So that advice to slow down, it might seem kind, but it could unknowingly be pushing someone towards poorer health.
Wow. And our sources give that example of Maria, 81 years old. After her husband died, she spent almost 2 years barely leaving her house. Just felt her health going downhill, strange aches, constant tiredness, kept getting infections. It wasn't until her daughter kind of nudged her gently into joining a local gardening club. She connected with 3 other women there, formed real friendships, and her energy just came roaring back. The pain disappeared. Her doctor was amazed at the change in her blood work. She'd basically reversed the physical damage of that isolation without even realizing that's what was happening.
And the key takeaway here, it's not just about being around people. It's about meaningful engagement. Interactions that challenge your mind a bit, give you a sense of purpose, create real emotional bonds. That could be anything, really. Volunteer work, feeling needed, learning a new skill, keeping the brain active, maybe mentoring younger folks, sharing wisdom. It's finding things that make you feel genuinely connected, valued, part of something.
That makes total sense. Purpose and connection, they're so fundamental. Okay, moving on. This next topic, it affects almost every senior multiple times a day. And this is where things get really complex. Taking multiple medications polypharmacy without fully understanding the potentially dangerous interactions when, say, 5 or more drugs mix in an older body. Our sources call it a chemical battlefield inside you.
This is just so critical. Because your body at 75 or 80, it's fundamentally different than it was at 65. Your liver, for example, it might process drugs up to 50% slower. Your kidneys aren't clearing toxins as efficiently.
Yeah.
And your brain becomes much more sensitive to chemical combinations. Pharmacologists talk about a pharmaceutical cascade. That's where you get a drug, it causes a side effect, so you get another drug to treat that side effect. But that new drug causes more side effects, leading to more prescriptions. It just spirals. The very medicines meant to help can end up in this tangled web, slowly harming your organs, diminishing your health. And often, no one spots the real cause.
Yeah, think about Robert, 77. That example is stark. He was on, 12 different medications and suffering from dizziness, nausea, confusion, just feeling weak all the time. And every time he reported a symptom, the doctors prescribed something else. It took a really sharp clinical pharmacist looking at his entire list, every pill, every supplement, everything to figure it out. She found 3 drugs basically fighting each other and 2 others creating a toxic mix for his liver. They carefully took him off 6 unnecessary meds and boom, symptoms vanished in weeks. He said he felt 20 years younger. The doctors were treating symptoms, not the root cause, the drug interactions.
Which is why this proactive medication management approach is, well, it can be life-saving. It means making a meticulous list. Everything you take, prescriptions, over-the-counter stuff, supplements, vitamins, everything. And that list isn't just for the doctor. It's for you, so you see the whole picture. Then, crucially, schedule a full review with a clinical pharmacist every year. Not just your prescribing doctor. Pharmacists specialize in how drugs interact. And in that review, you need to question every drug. Ask your doctor, do I still really need this? It's vital to grasp that a drug that was right for you at 65 might not be necessary, or even safe at 75 because your body has changed. Being proactive here can prevent a real crisis.
That's such a critical piece of advice for anyone on multiple meds. Okay, let's unpack another one. This killer subtly works on your body every single night. Most seniors never connect it to their declining health. Sleep fragmentation. And this isn't just about hours slept. It's about your sleep being broken up, preventing essential repair work.
Exactly. Your sleep architecture, that natural cycle of deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, it changes quite dramatically after 75. You tend to get significantly less deep sleep, and you wake up more often even if you don't remember waking up. Now, the critical part, which maybe isn't always explained, is that during deep sleep, your brain literally performs a rinse cycle. It cleans out toxic proteins like amyloid beta that are linked to Alzheimer's. Deep sleep is also when your immune system resets, muscles repair, organs regenerate. So fragmented sleep, it basically means skipping this vital nightly maintenance. Damage accumulates, defenses weaken, cognitive function can decline, you just feel run down.
Right, like Eleanor, 74. Classic case from the sources. She felt exhausted all the time, even though she was spending 9 hours in bed. Struggling with memory, catching every cold. Turns out her sleep was being disrupted, get this, 23 times an hour. Tiny disruptions, caused by things like room temperature being off when she took her meds, maybe some undiagnosed mild sleep apnea. Once they focused on optimizing her sleep quality, not just the time in bed, the change was dramatic. Energy, memory, health, all improved so much. Her grandkids joked she'd found the fountain of youth. It really proved it's about better sleep, not just more hours.
Absolutely. So these sleep optimization techniques, they're all about getting deeper, more restorative sleep. Simple things can make a big difference. Keep your bedroom cool, ideally between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That cooler temperature really helps promote deep sleep. And this is a big one. Avoid screens, phones, tablets, TVs for at least 2 hours before bed. That blue light messes with your natural melatonin. Also, try to eat your biggest meal at least 4 hours before sleep. Lets your body focus on rest, not digestion. And finally, if you snore heavily or feel tired despite enough time in bed, consider getting checked for underlying issues like sleep apnea. It gets much more common with age, and treating it can be transformative for your overall health.
It's amazing how these seemingly small details add up to impact sleep so much, which leads us nicely to our fifth and final silent killer. And this one, really, it underpins all the others. It's so common, affects something like 94% of seniors, but often creeps up unnoticed. It's the gradual loss of muscle mass and bone density, sarcopenia and osteoporosis. It creates this cascade of problems that doctors often treat separately, missing the root connection.
Yes, what's really eye-opening here is the rate of loss. After 75, you lose roughly 8% of your muscle mass every decade. And when muscle goes, so much else goes with it. Your metabolism slows down. Your balance gets worse, increasing fall risk. Your ability to fight off illness decreases. Your insulin sensitivity drops. Your body can't maintain strong bones as easily. Circulation suffers. Organ function can decline. It's all connected to muscle. Yet for so long, seniors were basically told, well, you're getting older, weakness and frailty are just part of the deal. Our sources argue really strongly that this is often wrong. Targeted resistance exercise can actually reverse decades of muscle loss in just a few months. What we often just call aging might, in many cases, really be disuse.
Thomas, 83. His story from the sources really brings this home. He couldn't climb a flight of stairs without getting winded. He'd fallen twice in 6 months. His family was seriously looking at assisted living options. But then he started this simple strength training program designed specifically for seniors. And he didn't just get his strength and balance back. He actually got stronger than he'd been in his 60s. It completely changed his life, gave him back his independence, proved strength isn't just for the young.
Exactly. And the strength preservation method we're talking about, it's not about hitting the gym hard or lifting heavy weights necessarily. It focuses on functional movements. Things that mimic everyday life, getting up from a chair easily, carrying groceries, walking confidently. It uses progressive resistance, gradually challenging your muscles a bit more over time, safely, so they adapt and grow stronger. It includes crucial balance exercises to prevent those devastating falls. And maybe the most important part, consistency. Small, regular efforts add up. They compound into really dramatic long-term benefits, building a foundation of strength that supports everything else. Makes you more resilient, more capable.
So when you pull it all together, thinking about everything we've discussed, what's really striking is how these 5 killers interact. Addressing them systematically has this powerful synergistic effect. It's not just fixing one thing in isolation. Each improvement seems to boost the others, like tuning an orchestra, Fix the strings section, and suddenly the whole symphony sounds better. Better hydration helps sleep. Better sleep helps muscles recover. Stronger muscles mean better balance, more confidence for social stuff. More social life motivates better health choices overall. It creates this positive cycle, building momentum that can genuinely reverse years of decline, maybe even in just a few months.
It really makes you ask a fundamental question, doesn't it? What if all this represents a completely different way to think about aging? Not just passively accepting decline as inevitable, but actively engaging, cultivating your own longevity. Not just treating symptoms one by one, but looking for and addressing the root causes systematically. And maybe, most importantly, not seeing 75 as the start of the end, but recognizing it could actually be the start of your healthiest, most vibrant decades. Moving from managing illness to truly cultivating wellness.
It reminds me of my grandmother, Rosa. She was told she had 6 months left at 86, but she didn't just survive, she thrived. Because she absolutely refused to accept that age equaled automatic decline. She chose to see her body as this complex system that actually responds incredibly well to the right care, the right inputs. Her story just proves it. The date on your birth certificate doesn't lock in your health. Your choices, informed choices, they really do.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeing aging purely through a medical lens as a condition to be managed, often with more and more pills. But our sources strongly suggest that healthy aging is more like a skill. Something you can learn, something you can practice. These 5 silent killers, they're not unbeatable forces. They're obstacles, yes, but obstacles you can overcome with the right knowledge, consistent effort, and the right strategies. It puts the power back in your hands to conduct your own health symphony.
So right now, you really do have a choice. You can go along with the old story, that 75 means inevitable decline begins. Or you can decide to take control of your health journey. Don't wait for symptoms to shout at you or for a crisis to hit. I challenge you. Pick just one of these 5 areas we talked about today, just one to start. Maybe it's optimizing your hydration, maybe strengthening social ties, maybe getting that medication review, improving sleep quality, or starting some gentle strength training. Commit to one small, consistent change, because even one small step done consistently can build incredible momentum and lead to really remarkable results over time.
The power to add not just years to your life, but healthy, vibrant years, years filled with energy and purpose, it's genuinely in your hands. This isn't just theory. These are proven strategies backed by research, backed by countless stories of seniors who've turned things around. So the question is, what single decisive action will you take starting today to begin your journey towards vibrant longevity?